And we are live here with Table Talk Thursday episode, as I get it from Mike for no reason, 43. Super late stream, all Kenneth's fault.
No, it's all auto dealerships' fault. Fuck all auto dealerships everywhere, forever. They're all terrible, and there is no possible way to get in and out of one in under an hour.
Nope.
When you're trying to buy a vehicle.
Unless you just literally run up, throw down cash, and go, that car, key now. It's just
pretty
nothing.
much. That's the only way. If it requires even the barest smells of financing, you're fucked.
Good old fun time.
So yeah, that's how my afternoon went.
Yep, the best afternoon. Anyway, we're here with World News.
Yep, so we're probably going to do a bit of a shorter stream today because we started so possibly late. But the show must go on.
Alrighty. So, first off, since I want to cover the funny one that I found funny, not this one though. They couldn't hide all the death. 5 more Rohingya mass graves found in Myanmar. As an update to the ongoing Myanmar coverage that we have here, apparently a bunch of mass graves are found. Which, as we've continued to call it a fucking ethnic cleansing and genocide here, which is what it is. I actually think this isn't the first time Myanmar's had the genocide and ethnic killings like this. I believe that there's like a...
I think it has happened in the past, but nothing to this scale.
Yeah. Anyway... The faces of men half buried in these mass graves have been burned away by acid or blasted by bullets. Noor Kadir finally recognized his friends only by the colors of their shorts. Oof.
Goddamn.
Kadir and 14 others, all Rohingya Muslims in the Myanmar village of Gudar Pin, had been choosing players for the soccer-like game of Chin Lone when the gunfire began. They scattered from what sounded like hard rain on a tin roof. By the time the Myanmar military stopped shooting, only Kadir and 2 teammates were left alive. Fuck's sake.
God damn.
Days later, Kadir found 6 of his friends among the bodies in 2 graves.
What kind of cognitive dissonance does the leadership of Myanmar have when she clearly can't see what her fucking military is doing? And I understand that for the longest time in Myanmar's history that they've been under a military dictatorship. And that it's only within recent years that they've actually had a proper president or prime minister or whatever she is. But she needs to face facts. Her military is committing a genocide. Has committed genocide.
Mm-hmm. It continues. Anyway, there are among more than 5 mass graves, all previously unreported, that have been confirmed by the Associated Press through multiple interviews with more than 2 dozen survivors.
As an aside to that, Reuters, journalists in Myanmar have been arrested for reporting on the mass graves, and they're being prosecuted under Myanmar's secret act. So, I don't expect we'll ever hear from them again.
That sucks for those people. The Myanmar government regularly claims such massacres of the Rohingya never happened, and has acknowledged only one massacre containing 10 terrorists in the village of Indin. Man, those are such weird village names. However, the AP's reporting shows a systematic slaughter of Rohingya Muslim civilians by the military with help from Buddhist neighbors, and suggests the presence of many more graves of Myanmar people.
They'd have to be blind, dumb, and deaf not to see it.
It was a mix-up of jumble of corpses piled on top of each other, said Kadir, a 24-year-old firewood collector. I felt such sorrow for them. That's kind of funny. I guess, when you're in a village, you have that's your task. You collect firewood for everybody. Something. I don't know. Whatever.
Look at that comment.
What comment?
That comment right there.
Is this actually a comment?
That's an actual comment.
Oh, not our problem. Myanmar are only responding to the royal militants who attacked several posts.
How can anybody honestly think that after weeks...
And here's a Christian
weeks,
person pulling up something. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not relevant to the story.
Mm-hmm.
But after weeks and months of coverage, how can anybody say this is justified?
hold on right here, because this is funny. 19 genius tips to add money to your bank account. Is that a fucking silver dollar in rice? What do? You fucking throw money in rice and the Asians will come and invest it for you? Is that the deal? I don't understand here.
They'll invest in Bitcoins.
They will invest in Bitcoin. Hello, Formula Curve. Who is that? Who are you? I don't know who you are, Formula Curve. I don't think I've ever seen your name here, but hi. Anyway, so, yeah.
It's Hell Ninja.
Jesus Christ, that boy uses Mixer now? How do you know that I'm on Mixer? Boy, we need to play some League of Legends. I don't know. You need to hop in Discord and hang out with us someday. I miss you, Boo. I was about to get a job in San Antonio, too, and I was going to message you while I was up there to go fuck with you. I know you're in my Discord, but you don't ever come talk. But yeah, I was going to message you when I was up there to go hang out. Mm-hmm. But anyway, let's continue covering the news. I also don't know why you have an Xbox account. I guess that's what you do nowadays. I don't know. Tommy doesn't love me anymore, and he never will, it seems. Makes you sad. But anyway, yeah, I'm done with this. Carry on.
Okay.
I cut it. That was it. I mean, I covered what I wanted to cover.
Okay, sure. I mean, yeah. This is an update to a story we covered last week, where we're talking about the Kurdish people in Syria being attacked by Turkey in Afrin. So this is a massacre. Turkey's bombs driving families into caves. Kurdish families huddle on blankets in a dimly lit cave. Others hide in the rubble of bombed-out buildings gathered around a campfire. Those that have basements seek shelter there. This is life in Africa. Turkey's cross-border military offensive against US-backed Kurdish militia has driven civilians in the northwestern Syria enclave underground. It's estimated 16,000 people have been displaced by the fighting, which has been punctuated by relentless airstrikes and shelling, according to the UN. So, this shouldn't be too difficult to understand. So they're attacking their US ally, attacking another US ally, in a region that's finally at fucking peace.
Is it finally at peace, though?
Well, not with Turkey bombing them to hell, but for the briefest of time after the Kurds had captured the town, and now there was modicum of peace. So footage obtained shows the city's deserted streets, littered with crumpled cars, debris, and gaping holes. The airplanes have been dropping bombs for 5 days now. They're dropping missiles and bombs. My dad said not to go out because of the warplanes, and so we're sleeping in the huts. All our homes are destroyed. How the fuck does Turkey think they can justify this?
We're Turkey, and, we hate you guys. That's basically what Turkey
Well, that is probably what they would say.
Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Yeah, fuck America. Capitalist pigs.
Pretty much.
Putin's a good guy, though.
Yeah,
that's basically what he says.
There's an ally of America, yeah?
Yep.
So, Turkey sees the quest by the Kurds, who are spread out between Turkey, Syria, Iran, and Iraq, to establish an independent homeland. I mean, they're a large enough people. They could do it. I mean, they're like a third of Turkey's citizenship, and...
Yeah, but then there's going to be another war for the land they declare independence.
Yeah, of course there will be.
But I mean, that's what that.
I mean, they control a good chunk of northern Syria. Mm-hmm. I mean, they could probably just petition the United States to say, "Hey, we helped you. We stopped the war. The ISIS."
Yeah, but then they're gonna get. We don't know who you are. We don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, there's too much.
Are you sure?
There's too much
we
around
wouldn't do that because we are America.
We are America, but there's too much surrounding them politically.
I suppose.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, okay, we'll take over Syria, and whenever we put in our guy, you'll get the north. Maybe.
So you'll get the north.
Skyrim belongs to the Nords, man. Or in this case, northern Syria belongs to the Kurds, or at least that's what they want. Mm-hmm. Turkey has long warned it will not tolerate YPG control over much of its border with Syria, which is what it has. The Kurds control a good, large percentage of the southern border. Co-president of the Executive Council of Afrin calls the Turkish attacks barbaric, and she says she hopes that international community will hold Turkey's government accountable for the violence. I mean, it's ridiculous that Turkey thinks they're going to be able to get away with this. I mean, they're bombing civilians indiscriminately. I hope the UN steps in and puts sanctions against Turkey for this crimes against humanity. Anyways.
Alright. Now on to one of my favorite stories that I pointed out to Kenneth this week. This is beautiful. Hamas founding father, responsible for alliance with Iran, dies weeks after accidental self-inflicted gunshot wound. A senior member of Hamas, the Hamas terrorist organization, has died. A Hamas spokesman said Tuesday, 3 weeks after he suffered what the terror organization claimed was an accidental self-inflicted gunshot wound in the head. On January 9th, Fawzi Bahoum, spokesman for the Gaza-based Islamist terror group, said that Imad al-Almi, one of the movement's most senior officials, was critically wounded when his personal firearm accidentally discharged. Al-Alami, 61, was inspecting his personal weapon in his home and is in critical condition, Bahoum said at the time. The Hamas leader was rushed to a Gaza City hospital on Tuesday. Hamas spokesman Hazim Qassem reported that al-Alami had succumbed to his wounds, dying in Gaza City.
I was going to say, I would be surprised if there was any operating hospitals in Gaza.
Yeah, so, I mean, long story short, the joke I want to make is these are the terrorists we're so afraid of. Dude shot himself in the face. I mean, or that's what they say, unless there was like a secret government operation that made him die.
It wouldn't,
Either way, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me if he shot himself in the face. It wouldn't surprise me if the American government
but if the American
came
government
out.
did it, Hamas would be out there saying it.
Maybe.
The fact that it came out and they're not disputing it, puts
maybe
evidence
unless they want to save face for something that America said that we were going to do and we did.
No,
it's all about power plays.
Like we're not actively attacking Hamas. Hamas is an ISIS. But Hamas is the people in control of the Gaza Strip, which borders Israel and the Palestinian Authority's territory.
Actually, didn't Hamas help us?
No. Hamas is against us. Yeah, Hamas and the Kurds are two different people.
I thought Hamas was still against ISIS, though. I thought Hamas had actually assisted us against ISIS.
No, they haven't assisted against ISIS. I don't think Hamas has had much interaction with ISIS, as far as I can remember.
As far as I knew, everybody basically just denounced ISIS. I mean, even Al-Qaeda did.
No, Al-Qaeda's... Well, because Al-Qaeda doesn't want somebody else taking the credit for them.
Yeah.
Because Al-Qaeda spent, fucking 20, 30 years building a brand around Al-Qaeda, and then ISIS comes around and be like, yeah, we're the new hot young terrorist groups.
Interesting.
Hey, shut up. What's up?
Yeah. No, yeah, it is whatever. Al-Qaeda's like, this is our terrorism. Anyway, I don't know. But that's all I really want to cover. I don't want to go into detail.
So, this enrages me. For anybody who should know, the Nazca lines are very large geometric designed lines of animals and different things in Peru. They're a World Heritage Site that's well protected because these things are ancient and monumental to the history of the people of the area.
Apparently, Shadowfound's wife, and apparently, fucking Helen's over there. He was saying, here's a thought. Iran also has proxies, and the groups are usually affiliated with Al-Qaeda in one form or another, and these groups hold ground. These doesn't seem able, it's terrible English, doesn't seem stable, and it's probably going to lead to another extremist upsurge. Thoughts? And how would the new focus on containing Iran and Syria even begin to reduce tensions? Yeah, it's
I assume you mean containing ISIS in Syria. And actually, I believe Iran and Al-Qaeda disagree because I believe Al-Qaeda is a different Muslim sect than the Iranian leadership. I believe. I have to double check that. As for containing ISIS within Syria, that's pretty much something we can do. And they're pretty well contained within it already. And
weren't they supposed to have been wiped out in Syria?
Technically, they've lost their major holding grounds.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
so they're not wiped out. No,
you can't kill terror. Terrorism as an ideology cannot be killed.
Well, it can be if better ideas replace it and overtake it.
Never gonna happen.
It's a war of ideas, man. It can happen.
It's never gonna happen.
It can happen.
Nope. Not in an area that's so fucked up in that part of the world. The only thing that could happen is if we just literally, I don't know, I'm on the page of just nuke it all and just start the land over fresh, just terraform it, just redo it, just hit a reset button.
Yeah.
But I mean, as long as there's people there that aren't happy with anything's goings on, then they will do it. You're just amazed at watching my cat attempt to jump over here.
She's just like, just leaning forward.
Yeah, she was like trying to figure out if she can do it. Cat, what are you doing? Come here. Rhea.
Anyways.
Come here.
I mean, I know ISIS is trying to branch out, and they have their little terror cells and
Yeah, their little terror cells. What is this, like Boy Scouts? Trying to branch out. They got the Cub Scouts. No, that's not how terror cells actually work. Come here.
Anyways.
Cat, get your ass over here.
So a truck driver plows over Peru's 2,000-year-old Nazca lines, leaving deep scars. So a semi-trailer driver ignored warning signs and drove over Peru's famous Nazca lines on Saturday, causing significant damage to the UNESCO World Heritage Site. The driver, identified as 40-year-old Janeer Jesus Flores Vigo, was detained and released.
And yes, Shadow, if you're talking about Dead by Daylight, there's a percentage chance that you can jump off the hook.
There is a 4% chance. It used to be 5%.
Base is 4.
The base is 4.
That actually
Used to be 5. There's skills that can... Are there skills?
There's perks that increase it, just as well as there's perks for the killer that decrease it.
Yeah.
Even more.
But most of the time you can increase it by using salts for luck, or things for luck.
Luck. Yeah.
Luck, the only thing luck determines is the hook percentage chance. That's it.
Yep.
The lions were etched for scratching the ground approximately 2,000 years ago and affect animals, plants, imaginary creatures, and geometric figures miles long. The Nazca lines and geoglyphs stretch over an area of 280 square miles.
Anything else? Carry on.
Okay.
Shadow's here. I can't disappoint him. Do you want me?
I mean, I guess I'll take something to drink. Not alcohol.
No.
Well, fuck off then. Anyways. So this just enrages me, because somebody's just like, oh, I'm gonna... Because essentially what they said is that he went off-road because he wanted to avoid paying a goddamn toll. And he's like, oh, I don't recognize the area I'm in, and I've ignored the warning signs and things that clearly state what the fuck is around here. I'm just gonna drive straight through it. Woo! Leroy Jenkins! What are you drinking?
The Scotch.
I know, but what kind?
Oh,
that's that one bottle that... Yeah, maybe.
Yep, I opened it for, to cook with.
Huh. Well, how did that work out?
Good. And it tastes great. There we go, Shadow. I'm back. I have the bubbly, and we're good.
Yes. And the thing is, like, their Justice Department essentially let him go. The prosecutor wanted to give him 9 months detention and $1,500 fine.
Are we covering the State of the Union address?
No. Surprisingly.
Damn it. We should.
I mean,
because he brought up the State of the Union, I was going to bring it up. He's like, been talking about over Trump had false claims in the State of the Union address. Any thoughts on why I did that, or am I late to the party on the question? We will look up the State of the Union address when we get to U.S. News. But I wanted to cover that too, since it's been big talk, and since apparently he lied like every 4.5 seconds or some shit. Or something like that. Well, he lied a lot. Oh, Shadow's not disappointed. See, there you go, Shadow. Shadow's probably going to get really drunk with me. Or get me drunk. Dallas, baby.
Cool story, bro.
Oh, come on, Kenneth. You could just, like, pass out. Hopefully, one of these jobs will work out in Dallas, and we'll have a house, and you just come stay and just pass out. Or you'll be living there, so you can get a job. Get a job.
I have a job. Get a job, you the poor.
You know what I have to say to that? I get unemployment.
Just drinking straight out of the bottle.
So I can drink my sorrows away.
You heathen.
I should apply for that one thing.
Food stamps?
Yes. Can I buy alcohol food stamps?
No. You can only buy food products.
You can't buy drinks? You can buy Cokes and stuff.
You can buy Cokes. That technically counts as food products.
What about beer?
No.
Really?
No alcohols of any kind, I believe.
Ooh.
Makes sense. Why would you want people on food stamps buying alcohol?
Because I'm sad and I need some help in my life.
Help, I need somebody. Help. Not just
4.5 minutes. Oh, there you go. So yeah, like I said, we'll cover that.
Yep.
I guess.
So next.
Oh, next. Nearly 1,000 miners trapped underground in South Africa after power outage. You see, the problem was they did not know to wait. Oof. I went there. Canada's also changed math. I saw that too. Saw that today.
It'd be more gymnast.
Yep. Around 900 miners are trapped underground in South Africa after a power outage, according to a mine operator. The workers were stuck in the Beatrix gold mine near the city of Welcome. Well, I guess gold prices are gonna go up.
Not really.
Maybe.
Like, literally, the only thing about this is they fucking don't have power.
I mean, it's not a cave-in or anything, is it?
No. It's literally some power lines came down, and the fucking people are too damn cheap just to fix them.
Speaking of which, I saw power lines down, like, on my way to fucking San Marcos. They're just, like, down in the ditch, and I'm like, that's probably bad. Anyway, yes. Thunderstorms were blamed for bringing down power lines near the site, leaving the miners stranded in tunnels and shafts. Around 60 of those were rescued overnight, but 900 are still trapped underground. Do these people... Like, one question. Do these people not have fucking flashlights if they're underground? Like, why do you need to be rescued? I mean, okay, first of all, mine shaft, maybe it only has an elevator.
Yeah.
They should probably at least have some of their things, not just an elevator, to be honest. I think most mines have more than,
Not really.
Really? They only have elevators?
I mean, in those areas, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Because when they go deep. Also got to remember, it's very hot down there.
Actually, it's cold.
No. In a mine, it's actually very hot.
It's supposed to be cold.
No.
When you're underground, it's cold.
Normally, in like natural caves, that deep in ground, no, it's actually hot. I believe.
Not sure if that's true. It's a little bit of column A.
No. Because I remember from like the Chilean miners, because I remember I covered that story quite up to see even. Yeah, no, mines are hot. That deep underground, it retains heat like a motherfucker. It's like 100-something degrees.
It's probably not even the ground retaining heat. It's probably because there's people and machinery and equipment down there.
Well, all that too. It's all radiating heat. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, very hot. So that's actually one of the worries that collapses and such is dying from dehydration.
Dying from dehydration, dying from malnutrition, dying from not having, recycled air,
killed,
dying from fucking crushed. I mean, just dying. You mine diamonds in mines. Diamonds need heat and pressure. That's different. A diamond mine is different from a gold mine.
No, not really. They still have to go similar depths.
Do they?
Pretty much. I mean, gold.
I thought diamond was like near surface level in Africa.
No, you have to go down.
It's that far down. They found diamonds very, I would think, very near the surface back in
Yeah, but it's
Africa.
the appropriate amount of diamonds.
Anyway. James Wilson, a spokesman for the site's owner, Sivany Stillwater, told local media the miners were safe and were receiving food and water. He said power was being restored, but there was not yet enough to bring the miners to the surface. We've currently got generators there, and we are trying to link them up to the hoist in order to bring people to the surface. But we are experiencing some difficulties with the circuit that may be linked to the surge relating to the storm and the power issue, he said. Spokeswoman for South Africa's Mineral Resource Department told the independent health and safety inspectors were on site providing support. South Africa produces around 10% of the world's gold and is home to its deepest mines, with workers often operating more than 2 miles beneath the surface. Nifty!
Damn, that's deep.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Very good. No, just that picture, whatever the fuck that was. That's kind of cool.
So this is actually really good for elephants. Good news for animals worldwide.
Nobody cares about animals. What are we, Greenpeace? We're not Greenpeace here.
You're right, we're not Greenpeace.
We're beef-loving Americans and meat-loving Americans. I wonder how elephant tastes. Better be good, damn it.
Probably not.
I don't know.
So, Hong Kong bans ivory trade in historic vote. Hong Kong lawmakers have voted overwhelmingly to ban the trade of ivory in a move campaigners described as a lifeline for elephants. Surprisingly enough, Yao Ming has actually been very instrumental in getting China to cut down on their support for shark fin soup.
Is it because he's Chinese?
Well, yes, he's a big figure in China, but also because apparently
She's a big figure, literally.
But apparently in China, a lot of Chinese people don't actually know what shark fin soup is made of, because...
Is it made of sharks?
No, but because the translation of shark fin into Chinese is like ocean fish or something.
What?
Yeah. It's something completely different. Yeah.
That's weird.
So whenever Chinese people order shark fin soup, they could think they're just getting normal, like fish soup or whatever. Not understanding that it's actually shark soup.
But see, China's also fucked up too with, they have, what is it, like
the
super
Yulin
hardcore whales.
Festival.
They have the dog and cat eating festival thing you were just talking about. I mean, yeah. I mean, it helps keep the populations of, rabid animals down, I guess.
I don't know, man. We saw that video from one of those festivals in Indonesia where they just grabbed the damn poor dogs by like one of those loops like that dog catchers used to have or still have, and they just smashed it on the head. I don't know if that blows kills it.
I don't know if I watched that, but yeah. I guess
it was disturbing.
Oh, I probably would have enjoyed it.
Really, seeing poor animals struggling for their lives and then just getting their heads smashed in.
I mean, at least it ends fairly quick. I don't know. I mean, remember what I have to do to Max. He bites or eats anything.
Yeah, well, that's a gun. Or you could take him down to a bed and get him injected.
It costs like $200 when it costs like $1
really?
for a bullet. Yeah, it costs like $300 almost to get a dog put down.
I don't know if it does.
It does.
Because my dad had my dog put down.
Why?
And because she bit my nephew.
But was it a court order?
No.
But it bit somebody or whatever.
Yeah, she bit somebody because he was pulling on her like ears.
Mm-hmm.
So she retaliated. She's also kind of old.
Mm.
But he wouldn't have done it. I don't know. He wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have done it if it cost money. Essentially.
Well, because it's like $250 to get the dog put down if you go to the vet, and also the guy won't put down the dog because he's too big. Like, we have to call a different veterinarian from somewhere, and they have to come out of here and just go, boop, and then walk off, and then we just roll them over into the grave. We have to seriously dig the grave and everything.
I mean, I could talk to Lane since his father runs Bay City Veterinarian.
Yeah, ask him how much putting down a dog costs. It's probably going to be a lot.
But
But
because
we never said he bit anybody, and like the doctor said he didn't even want to put down the dog because it's not a court order. And I was like, he's a danger to our animal. He keeps eating chickens for fuck's sakes. And like those are kind of farm, raised animals or whatever. Yeah, they're livestock.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like he's a menace to existence.
Mm-hmm.
Kill him.
Anyways, but yes, ivory sales will gradually be phased out in Hong Kong, stopping completely by 2021, with demonstrators gathered outside Hong Kong's legislature with signs reading, "Do you really need ivory chopsticks?" Shutting down this massive ivory market has thrown a lifeline to elephants. Apparently, ivory's been traded in Hong Kong for over 150 years.
They didn't want to give up the ivory trade because we did that a long time ago.
I mean, everybody did. It's considered the world's largest ivory market.
Yep.
God damn. It says Hong Kong had a 670-ton stockpile in 1989 when the global trade was banned. And apparently only ivory dating from that period is meant to be sold there, but illegal trade is also often covering for illegal activities.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Still, to have 670 tons of ivory piled up. I mean, imagine how many elephants had to die, or rhinos, or everything else, to get that huge amount of ivory.
Alright, see you, man. Have fun.
Yep, see you. Have a
Nice
good
to see you for, like, the first time in ever, honestly. Have a good night, man. Anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, that's ridiculous. But it's good that the ban is happening. So,
Yep.
definitely killing one of the major...
Yeah, so you done with that? Alright, cool. Israelis sue New Zealanders over Lord boycott.
Oh, Lord.
I don't even know what that even means.
Okay, well, Lord is a singer who is going to perform in Israel.
That's what I thought.
But then, as a part of the BDS movement, which is Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions, which is a movement to basically punish Israel for illegally taking land in their illegal settlements by peaceful, non-violent means. Well, they got to Lord and convinced her not to go perform in Israel.
That's fine. I mean, she can also choose wherever she wants to go. And
Yeah,
not go.
exactly. It's not like they held a gun to her head. They laid out arguments and she agreed with them.
Yeah, there you go. An Israeli legal rights group said Wednesday it is suing 2 New Zealanders for allegedly convincing the pop singer Lorde to cancel her performance in Israel in what appears to be the first lawsuit filed under a contentious Israeli anti-boycott law. Okay, well, first of all, I can see how this isn't going to work for multiple reasons. One, you guys are in Israel, and 2, they're in New Zealand. Yeah. And because they never stepped foot on your soil, and also it never went to your country, it's probably not going to go through.
Yeah.
Both of your courts will just laugh at each other. I mean, Israeli court's going to maybe be angry, but then the New Zealander court's just going to laugh at them and be like, "We're fucking Kiwis, mate." I mean, yeah.
I mean, look at it. The 2011 law opens the door to civil lawsuits against anyone calling for a boycott against Israel.
It sounds like really angry kids in like the schoolyard kind
of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you said something bad against me, I'm going to go tell the teacher.
Yep.
Including of lands it has occupied. If that called could knowingly lead to a boycott. You know what? Bring it, Israel.
So even if it can lead to a boycott, so even if it doesn't directly do a boycott.
So, I'm going to call it right here. I am calling for an official boycott of all Israeli commerce until they agree to remove themselves from the illegally occupied territories. Come at me, Israel. Sue me, motherfuckers.
I mean, they'd have to watch this broadcast, but yeah. Bring it. I'll laugh at your face the whole time. I mean, if nobody's ever seen my streams, everybody who knows me will know I'll fucking sit there and do it. I'll appear in court over Skype call to your Israeli court, and I'll just laugh the whole time at you and your judges. And then whenever I basically do the Boondocks thing, I'm white, and then I'll walk out of the courtroom. Oh boy, wouldn't that be great? The law, which is part of Israel's fight against a global movement calling for boycotts against the Jewish state, allows for courts to impose damages against defendants. Critics said the law would stifle free expression, which obviously it does.
Like who's hurt in this? She's an artist that chose not to perform. Yeah, sure, the venue may be hurt because she was scheduled to perform there, and she didn't perform. Or the people who bought tickets. But I'm sure they got it refunded.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're not like suing for somebody on behalf of somebody. They're suing because they can.
The 2 New Zealanders, Justine Sachs and Nadia Abu Shanab, penned an open letter to Lorde last year in which they urged her to take a stand and join the artistic boycott of Israel. The New Zealand singer-songwriter replied to a tweet of the letter saying, "Noted. Been speaking, quotes with, or whatever, many people about this, and considering all options. Thank you for educating me. I'm learning all the time, too."
See, that's a reasonable person.
She canceled her show days later.
She's like, "Oh, people have been talking to me about these things that are going on that's illegal in a country I'm going to perform in. Well, you know what? I don't want to be a party to that. So I won't go." See? Reasonable discussions leading to actions, which is exactly what the BDS movement wants.
The group Sharat Hadin claims that the New Zealanders, 1 Jewish and 1 Palestinian, knew that their letter could trigger a boycott, making them open to a suit under the law.
Because Lorde would just see it, read it, and be like, "I'm going to do what these random people say."
The group, which filed a lawsuit in a Jerusalem court on Tuesday, is suing on behalf of 3 Israeli would-be concert goers for about $13,000 in damages.
Fuck off.
Is that how much it would have cost?
No, there's no way.
This lawsuit is an effort to give real consequences to those who selectively target Israel and seek to impose an unjust and illegal boycott against the Jewish state. said Nitsania Darshan-Letner, the group's head and a lawyer representing the plaintiffs. They must be held to compensate Israeli citizens for the moral and emotional injury and the indignity caused by their discriminatory actions.
You know, they're not going to win. I'm surprised the court took it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're never going to get these defendants into Israel. And it's not like they knew it would have an intended effect. They hoped it would. They ideally thought it might.
Well, it goes on to say, Darshan Littner said the law has not yet been tested in court because proving a link between a boycott and a call for one is difficult. She said in this case the connection is clear. It came in at the first time Lord brought up in conversations with the Tel Aviv performance was after the pair's letter, and the two women took credit for Lord's decision to cancel on social media and elsewhere.
But she said it herself in that tweet that
Hello,
many
High
people...
Elf Jordan, by the way.
Hello. But she said it in her tweet that many people had been talking with her about this. She just happened to respond with that. So, they were influential into it, but clearly many people had been talking about it already, so it wasn't a big deal. Anyways. I guess we're done with this? Right, so there's a brief update to a story we covered last week about Cape Town in Africa. South Africa. What's that? Yeah. Fairly sure we did. You don't remember a lot of the stories. Anyways, so Cape Town in South Africa is running out of water, quite drastically. They're rapidly coming up on a day when their reservoirs will run dry, and there will be no more water in the standard areas of the city to give. So it says here that Cape Town's biggest water reservoir has shrunk as the city nears the day when it completely runs out of water. Drought, population growth, and climate change are helping fuel Cape Town's water crisis. Officials believe taps will run dry on April 12th, cutting off water access to the city's 4 million residents. This is actually relatively unique in the world for a major city to have all of its water cut off due to great overusage. I mean, it's significant, the changes that have happened. The Cape Town's the Seawater Schoof Dam, Cape Town's largest reservoir, is at dangerously low levels. It's only at 13% full this week, down a full percent from last week. If it keeps going like this, then they're going to be out by April, like it said. The dam is so massive it holds more than 480,000 megaliters of water. Good question. I assume 10 liters.
That's weird.
Or is it 1,000 liters because it's like a megabyte?
No. I guess they use that in gallons.
No, they still use gallons. Or 126 billion gallons of water.
Okay, there we go.
It accounts for 53% of all water in the region's dam system. I want to bring up the website to show people what it looks like. How do I do this? I do that. And then this one. Okay. Oh, there we go. And yeah, I think so. There we go. I got it. I know how to run these things at a distance. Much better. So, here's some satellite images of the reservoir 7 years ago and the reservoir today. Or recently.
Is it just an open air reservoir?
Yeah, it's a giant air. I mean, yeah. So, just look at this picture. Let it sink in for a second. This was just 7 years ago. This was a massive lake of water. Huge. Look at that. Green, clear green areas of land. You know, idyllic, one might say. And then in just 7 short years, a barren wasteland. It's all brown. Everything is dead.
I'm assuming all of that's reservoir.
That's just the water.
Was that all supposed to be reservoir?
Yeah, that was what it was.
So all of that's the water.
All of that's water, and it's gone to that.
Eesh. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the land difference, too. These pictures were taken at similar times of the year. I mean, without all that water, it's destroyed. I mean, this one was taken January 6th, and it was taken January 4th. So, and just 7 years apart. So we would expect this time of year for all of this to be green, like we see here. Mm-hmm. But because of the extreme drought, that is not the case. And the thing is, this is like significant on this micro level here. But looking at it over this entire landmass, it's significant. I mean, this is what it was, again, same time that year, versus now. I mean, you can see the significant differences, the large, massive reduction in green areas everywhere throughout the broader areas of the world. I mean, it's ridiculous how significant that the water there can within supplies so much.
I decided I had to eat because me straight chugging that bottle actually made my stomach hurt.
Yeah.
Usually it doesn't.
So, I just wanted to show that because that's just too significant to pass it, because that really puts it into perspective how serious that this water issue is. They're almost out. They are going to be out. A major city with 4 million people out of water. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. They're going to like pipe in water or get massive trucks of it. Right, even today, right now, there are thousands and thousands of people lining up. What is it?
Chicken. Mustard chicken.
Smells good.
Just want to get an opinion. How was it?
Good.
Yeah, I made that. I did this. With this and other things, obviously.
It's good.
Yeah. Well,
it's so difficult to get flavor in the chicken.
Well, it's dry, though, because I nuked it.
Yeah.
It was actually better, but yeah. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Alright, I'm back. And let's die. I've seen a couple bites.
Alright,
Alright, so now we're on to the U.S. news. You want to just like switch gears and just go try to cover the State of the Union thing, or what?
Yeah, we'll cover a couple of those. I have that brought up here.
Can you link me that real quick?
Yeah, I'll add it to the document.
If I can find the topic here. I was going to say, because we could have... That's one of those things I wanted to cover, because that's a big deal right now. Just how much Trump's lying in it. Oh no. Oh no, is it going to fix... Okay, there we go. I was like, is it going to fix itself? Boom!
Yeah, this is actually just fucking hell, Trump. There's so many things.
Shit he's lying about.
Now, there's actually a video on it. If you just
So what do we want to cover here exactly?
We'll just go through and cover.
I mean, we could do this video, maybe. This is video.
We could.
It's only on the...
It's only covering the one thing.
Yeah, it's on.
Anyways.
So basically he's trying to say he's doing everything.
Yeah, he's doing everything and he's great for America, etc.
Yeah, and then realistically, it's like, what have you done then?
Yeah. So, first thing. I've just, as I promised, we've enacted the biggest tax cuts and reforms in American history. This is stupendous. This is great. That's a lie.
Biggest tax cuts for the rich people. Because I mean, as I told you, the tax brackets went down, and the poor people are still at 9%, and the rich people got 2.6 or 2.7% off of theirs.
And it'll go lower for them over time. So they actually found out that adjusted for inflation by dollar amount, the tax cut's only the 4th largest in history since 1940, and as a percentage of GDP, only the 7th. So. He didn't make the biggest American tax cuts in U.S. history. Take this.
After years of wage stagnation, we are finally seeing rising wages. Another one, which I know personally is false. And then it says here, the site says, we've rated Trump's claim mostly false by the most common measure. Wages did go up for the first 3 quarters of Trump's presidency, but they fell in the fourth, wiping out all the gains on his watch, and then some. His assertion also ignores that wages, by 2 different measurements, began their climb during the final years of Obama's presidency.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that has happened.
Ah, yes.
Massive tax cuts provide tremendous relief for the middle class and small businesses. Though the tax bill does benefit Americans with modest incomes initially, the wealthy obviously take a disproportionate share. As we covered in our story a few weeks ago, when we talked about the tax bill more specifically, the wealthiest top 1% and top 1% of 1% will be getting over a couple 147 billion in tax cuts. Because that's just what the rich need. More tax cuts.
That's way tough.
Well, the middle class, cumulatively, will only be getting about 14 billion in tax cuts. Hell, as we said during that story, fucking foreign investors, people who are not even Americans, will get bigger tax cuts than the goddamn middle class and poor. Combined.
Yep. Which is ridiculous.
Yep. Let's see. Since we passed tax cuts, over 3 million workers have gotten tax cut bonuses, many of them thousands and thousands of dollars.
See, some of that was based on net neutrality getting repealed.
Net neutrality and the tax bill. Combination of both. And it was found that the claim was mostly true. They found that at least 3 million Americans are receiving bonuses from companies that said it was related to the passage of the tax bill, based upon press releases and news reports. But what the fuck is a bonus going to do? Oh my god, I'm so grateful for my overlord who I'm now a wage slave. Oh, they gave me $1,000 bonus for this one tax cut that's going to net them freaking hundreds of billions of dollars. And they give away, what, $1 million worth of bonuses? 2 million? And they net billions back? How generous of them. Useless.
And then the third pillar ends the Visa Lottery, a program that randomly hands out green cards without any regard for skill, merit, or the safety of Americans.
I mean, I knew this was false even before this article.
Mm-hmm. We've rated Trump's claim false. While a lot of the applicants are randomly selected, they must meet education and work experience requirements. They must also be vetted by the United States government before...
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're letting criminals in here, people with no skills. To get in, you do have to meet certain levels. I mean, it's not like, we want uneducated people coming into here.
It's not like we really want, as Trump thinks most Mexican
they're
Americans
rapists, they're criminals.
And criminals, yes.
They're stealing our jobs and our wages and your property. But some of them, I assume, are good people. Under the current broken system.
What is it? My maids, my entire hotel spec, they're all Hispanic. They're good people.
Then again, so were those whores.
Which ones?
The ones in Austin.
Wait, what?
The ladies of the evening from the hotel room at the La Quinta.
The ones rubbing all up on that, I guess, hotel guy.
Yeah, and he knew them.
Oh, yeah.
So under the current broken system, a single immigrant can bring in unlimited number of distant relatives. That's a lie. Neither a U.S. citizen nor a lawful permanent resident can directly petition for...
I was going to say, you can't get distant relatives. You can only
get immediate.
Brothers, sisters, and
brothers, sisters, parents, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, in-law, relatives, or grandparents are ineligible to be directly petitioned to come to the country because they are classified as distant relatives. It's unfortunate that you can't bring your grandparents along. But I understand because they are slightly distant compared to your immediate family.
Distant in age.
Yep.
But it's also because...
My God.
If you do that, you get two
For brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens to get a visa, the waiting period is over 13 years.
Jeez.
I mean, shit. You have to get a fucking visa online before they even exist. She's like, they're not like your parents ain't even pregnant yet with whatever your brother is. But shit, you got to get that paperwork started. Just like, what's his name? Doesn't matter. Whatever his name I put on this paperwork, that's what his name's gonna be.
Yeah, at that point. That's all you can do.
It reminds me so much of the bureaucrat center or whatever the hell the bureaucrats area in Futurama. Where there's just a long ass line in a huge ass building, and like they're like, I'm just here to get my death certificate. And then he steps back a second, like, oh, somebody had a baby. Just like, that's that right there.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. In the past, we have foolishly released hundreds and hundreds of dangerous terrorists only to meet them again on the battlefield, including the ISIS leader al-Baghdadi, who we captured, who we had, who we released. Reiterated this statement mostly false. Trump overstated the number of prisoners released from Guantanamo who were confirmed to have re-engaged with some type of terrorist activity. That number is 122, not hundreds and hundreds. He's also not entirely that al-Baghdadi was released by the United States. The ISIS leader was handed over to the Iraqis in 2004. The Iraqis released him sometime later. Legal contract between the United States and Iraq guaranteed that the United States would give up custody of virtually every detainee it was signed during the Bush administration.
So you want somebody to blame? Blame Bush.
It had required an extraordinary effort to have held on to Baghdadi. Or they could have just lofted him in transport or something, I'm sure.
Yeah, but then it'd raise a lot of questions with fucking Iraq.
I suppose.
1 year later, I'm proud to report that the coalition to defeat ISIS has liberated very close to 100% of the territory just recently held by these killers in Iraq and Syria. Let me see. There's actually a map of the currently controlled lands. Opposition, ISIS. Well, ISIS really doesn't control much of Syria anymore.
You want me to kill you, Crucifix? I suppose so.
Yes. Hi, Crucifix. How you doing? I haven't heard from you, buddy.
How much money am I killing you for?
So apparently, it's mostly true. Apparently, the Islamic State has shrunken by 93% since January of 2015. So, well, that's good.
Did you see the thing about the roads?
No, I missed the roads.
Whatever's in my account, just take the coin. Yeah, but you only have like a quarter.
You're
and
Kyle
some fucking
shit. You have no money.
Like, you only have some belly button lint and shit in your account. I don't know how you got belly button lint added to your digital account, but you did somehow.
Yeah, the bank's like, would you like to make a withdrawal? Oh, I'll take the belly button.
Yeah. $20. Oh man. Chrysler's moving a major plant from Mexico to Michigan. Moving right over.
You missed the roads thing.
Yeah, I was going to say I was going to do the road thing.
Yeah, do the road thing.
We built the Empire State Building in just 1 year. Isn't it a disgrace that it takes 10 years just to get permanent proof for a simple road? We ran Trump's claim half true. The Empire State Building was constructed in 1 year and 45 days, a little longer than Trump said. He was off base when he said that permitting takes 10 years. Recent government studies say permit approval time ranges from 4.6 to 6.6 years. The only study found that claims a 10-year approval is common. It comes from an anti-regulation group which raises a question about its reliability.
Quite rightly so. I mean, if somebody has an opinion, they'll fucking manipulate the data whatever they like.
I can't watch streams anymore.
So. And I was out being angry at a car dealership buying a car for my dad.
I assume he means watching a stream like yesterday when he was talking about his fire or whatever. Yeah, I can't watch streams. My internet speed here is too poopy to even watch anything, so...
I don't even remember where I am today. Who are you?
I think basically yesterday it was just all about cars.
Yeah, no, I thought he had a stream tonight.
Oh, you have to stream tonight? See, I didn't even know.
Yeah,
but again, I don't even care.
And I would have, but again, I was at a car dealership for like 5 hours getting my dad a new used car.
I mean, hell, the show should be over by now, but Ken's just barely here. That's all. See you, it's probably very long.
Yeah, I'll check out the VOD. Sounds good. Do it. I'm not gonna make it look like
I have a viewer.
You have views. Anyways,
You have friends that watch you. Tell your friends to go watch it, man.
I mean, he's telling us right now.
I mean,
Other people.
real life friends.
People other than us, yes, of course. Post it on the Discord if you haven't.
As I say, push it in the Discord.
Yeah, put it in the video room so everybody can see.
There you go.
Oh, bravo. So,
There you go,
bravo.
see? I don't know what the hell you were doing. Good job.
I think it means the streaming the match.
Was he doing a match?
Or whatever he was doing. Was it a fighting thing? Was it? I believe so.
I thought it was yesterday, or the day before yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
But maybe it was for tonight, so I don't know.
I don't remember when things are. I just want today to be over.
And the day is over.
Good. I want today to be over. Yeah, sparring match, yeah. I
Okay,
remembered. I just didn't remember what time it was. Sorry.
I thought it was yesterday when you had posted. You're like, come watch this thing.
Oh, yesterday and tonight. So we're both
Okay,
right.
so then, yeah, it was yesterday. I didn't know there was one tonight because I didn't see it in the Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I can't watch them anyway, so.
Yeah, his internet is really terrible.
I'm only streaming because of Kenneth's hotspot. And I might not be able to watch it since his hotspot seems to be working semi-correctly. It's only giving me like single-digit megs now, though, still. So I feel like it's still not working right. But
I don't know why.
I didn't put that through the washer, I promise you.
Enjoying net neutrality.
I guess.
Yeah, Texas will be one of those states that never decides to do the net neutrality regulations.
We'll fucking bend over backwards for AT&T to just ram us in the ass. And we love AT&T here. Ken, don't you just love working with AT&T for the school district? Isn't it great?
Yeah, they're just fantastic.
I love how basically everything I've said you have to basically start dealing with now. And then you're like, but they are that bad. And I was like,
I'm in the middle of nowhere. Trust me,
I told you
for the longest time, the best internet I could get was like 12 megs, and it was really shitty for the most part.
I mean, it's better than what I can get here.
That's true. But still.
I mean, basically everybody can get better than what I get here.
I mean,
AT&T doesn't even offer what I get here anymore. They keep trying to make me switch, and I'm like, guys, my internet's better than the. So apparently they offer Uverse here, right? But apparently they only offer like 168.
dial-up?
Huh?
They offer dial-up here?
No, that's what I used to have here. It used to be 1 megabit, basically. And I'm like, oh no, you know what they offer? They don't even offer 1 meg. They offer 768. That's what it is.
Yeah. Looking not even... Oh, God.
And they're like, yeah, you should switch to that. It's better than what you have. I was like, no, it's not. Stop that. And the smart people are like, hey, you know, I hear that you have better internet than what we offer. I'm not even going to try to offer you anything. I'm like, cool. But can we get fiber out here? Get your lead engineer to walk out down my street to look at the line, stare at the box and say, there's fiber in this box. And then get him to get his ass on the pole and get it over to my house. That's all I need from you guys.
4 megs. I mean, that 12
Still
was,
better than what I have here.
the 12 was practically 4, because I was only rated for 6. But due to a glitch in the system, I was able to get 12. Lord knows AT&T wanted me to switch to 6 every time.
That's basically how they were here. Right. Your line can't support 3 megs. Dude comes out and then like signal to noise ratio is just flopping all over the place. It's like, it's bad. I was like,
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. He's like, you should really go down.
Yeah, he's like, you're pushing the max out of this line.
Same
and I was
here.
like, you're damn right I am.
You're damn right.
And he's like, you should really go down. Yeah, it might be more stable. And I was like, yeah, but I'll lose half of my speed.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly the same here. And I was just like, nah, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll take the slightly unstable service for the speed.
Basically what happened. And then they ran, they had problems like that. We had problems all the time. And then they ran new Cat 5. Never had a problem since. The new Cat 5 that goes to my room.
The guy was like, look, if anybody gets on this line, it's gonna die. And I'm like, fuck you, AT&T. I do what I want. Within legal bounds of the contract.
Shit. Back then there was no real contract. It's just hey, here's your speed, you pay this much.
Yeah. Anyways. So, moving on, I think we've covered enough of Trump's fucking falsities.
Yep. Go ahead and do the shooting, I guess.
Okay, so...
I'll take the bomb to school, because remember, I'm a school bomber.
Yeah, that's true. Tragedy strikes America. Again. Yes, is this now the second school shooting
Alright,
in the year? What the fuck cable were they using before Cat 3?
It was Cat 5.
No, he says before Cat 3.
I don't know. I feel like he went Cat 5. Probably Cat 2, Cat 1.
Yeah, you know, weak hurricanes that can't really do much damage.
I think, what is the RJ45? RJ45 is Cat 2? Is it?
No. RJ45's... No.
Not Cat 5.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking RJ11. Phone cable's not Cat 5.
No, no. RJ11, that's Cat 3.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, RJ45 is Cat 4, Cat 5, and that. Anyways, so...
there's a cat there eating shit, so not supposed to, as usual.
Yeah. So, for the... I mean, we're barely into February.
We're pushing the bar of America, and it's great.
And it's already the second school shooting. School shooting...
I'm loving it. Personally, I want to see a resurgence of school shootings.
This is actually kind of interesting. School shooting that injured 4 students, now believed to be unintentional, police say. A 12-year-old girl has been booked.
Hold on. What?
Yeah. So it says a 12-year-old...
The gun made me do it.
So it says a 12-year-old girl was booked on suspicion of negligent discharge of a firearm Thursday after a shooting at Sal Castro Middle School left 4 students injured. Los Angeles police do not believe the shooting was intentional. At the time, the information suggests that the incident was an isolated incident involving negligent discharge of a firearm where innocent children and a staff member were unfortunately injured. The girl was taken to L.A. County's Central Juvenile Hall. Gunfire erupted in the classrooms on the Westlake neighborhood shortly after the opening bell, causing numerous students to run from the area. A semi-automatic handgun was recovered from the scene. One student who was in the classroom told the reporter he thought the gunfire was unintentional. Someone decided to bring a gun. I guess somebody was accidentally playing around with it. They thought it was a fake gun.
Oh, okay.
It's like, this thing's really heavy. This looks like real bullets. Probably a fake gun.
Well, they're 12. They don't know what looks like real bullets.
I suppose.
Unless they go hunting or something.
Yep. So, the authorities responded at 8:55 a.m. They found a 15-year-old boy with gunshot wounds to the head and a 15-year-old girl who was shot in the wrist, and 3 others with minor injury. The boy who was shot in the temple is in stable condition and is expected to fully recover. Wow, that's very surprising.
It must not have been a horizontal shot. It must have been like a graze.
Yeah, because in earlier stories they were saying that he might die. So
Either that or they did what's it? It's like this one. Is it an anime? Or was it a movie? It was something. But basically they wrapped the dude's head in like this weird, it's like a hyper futuristic thing, and they use like 3M gel, and it's like push 2 buttons on the side and it repairs the fucking bullet hole, and I'm like, that's nifty.
So Medigel.
Yes, but like super future. Oh, it was in Statesman. I mean, it was in the new Kingsman movie. That's what it was. I remember now.
Yep. So 3 others suffered injuries: a 30-year-old woman, an 11-year-old boy, and a 12-year-old girl, who suffered minor injuries from the gunshots and broken glass.
I don't know. That still sounds really fishy. It sounds like they just don't want to acknowledge it as a school shooting for some reason.
I mean, school shootings usually have more victims, and they're usually more intentional areas of damage.
I suppose so.
I mean, it's not super far-fetched.
Also, usually it's not girls that do school shootings either.
Well, that too. So it's
usually deranged white kids for the most part.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be too surprised if...
I didn't do anything.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's like, oh, look, I found this gun at home, and look at it, and they're like, oh, yeah, cool, fire it off, or whatever.
I mean, they're 12, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, they're kids.
I had more sense than that, I think. Anyway, Maryland teen sentenced to 20 years an alleged school bomb plot. A Maryland teen accused of meticulously planning a violent attack at her high school has been sentenced to 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to possessing explosive material with the intent to create a destructive device, authorities say. Oh, she's old. Nicole Savario, 19, of Thurmont, was sentenced after entering a guilty plea Tuesday. I mean, maybe she was guilty, or maybe she... I don't know. Still would have said no. Police learned of Savario's plot after her father read her diary and called the school in March. Within hours of the father's phone call, the honor student was pulled out of the classroom and individually taken to a hospital for a psychological evaluation. Police believe the diary entries were not empty threats, Sheriff Charles A. Jenkins said in the news conference last year. We felt this was going to be carried out. There's no doubt in our minds that we divert a disaster up there. Savario stockpiled bomb-making materials and had a shotgun to attack Catterton High School, the Frederick County Sheriff's offices. The gun and other items were purchased legally, police said. Savario reportedly planned to saw off the shotgun. Good notes. Savaro's diary referenced horrific school shootings in Columbine, Colorado, and Newtown, Connecticut, Jenkins said. She focused on mistakes those shooters made. Yes. A prodigy. My prodigy. Also, she believes she'd be the first female master. Exactly what I was talking about! The diary showed the high school shooter had been taking calls to class to criminal justice as working at a carry-out restaurant, having planned the attack for some time, police said. She expressed frustrations about her personal life and compiled information on the school's emergency procedures and the school's resource deputy on duty. Oh, shit, I gotta give a clap to this. This is actually really good. Good shit. Bad if it would have happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's great because this is the level of school shooting, like planning and stuff people have to be scared about. Like all of the other stuff where, people just like bring guns to school and they're angry or whatever is different.
We're gonna have a bad time streaming.
Huh?
So I've hit 100% of the smartphone mobile hotspot high-speed data. And now the speeds will be limited to 128 kilobytes until today. That's hilarious. See, because it's 2/2/2018.
Until today.
Which is today.
Today.
Okay, great. Let's keep it rolling.
Weird.
Yep.
But yeah.
So, teen teraflops.
So there you go.
Now the next two stories we have coming up. I'm actually going to cut this one.
Yeah.
But the next two stories we have coming up, I absolutely love because it's Baltimore. And if you know anything about what we've been covering about Baltimore,
we need to do one of these one of these roundups sometime soon again.